I don't think I've ever been more afraid going into a tie than I am going into this Champions League quarter-final tie against Dortmund. But we've got to back ourselves. We've got to believe. Oh, I'm so afraid. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 27 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final tie against Borussia Dortmund. Nothing has happened since the last episode, because the last two episodes have been our last four matches. It's been a big time. Lots of good form. We need to keep that form going just a little bit longer, like 2 months longer. And we could win it all. We could be champions of, well, not the world, but Europe. We could be heroes. Oh, I'm so afraid. We're doing the 4-3-3. I can't remember if I decided that in the last episode, but we're doing this is our Champions League formation. I've decided the 4-2-3-1. That's what we'll play in the league against teams we're confident of beating. But in a big game like this, I feel much safer going into it with Moreno playing in front of our back four than I would with Lorenzo knocking around, just being fancy up here. We don't need him to be fancy. We need to not concede too many goals. So here we go. I mean, it is a full-strength team. Who would you change in there? Nobody. That's who you'd change. So we've got Markovic in goal. A back four of Ryback, Alvaro, Annan and Gravosti. Moreno in behind O'Neill and Atz in midfield. With Garcia, Korkmaz and Gould as our front three. Let's get into the match. And let's hope Garcia continues the ridiculous form that he's been in recent weeks. Having to play a youth team goalkeeper who didn't even have a squad number on the bench isn't ideal, but let's not worry about that. I mean, they've gone the opposite way to what I was saying, and they want the fancy man. So hopefully Moreno can destroy their fancy man, which I think is what that position is officially called. I know people will say, Kev, it's called number 10, I think you'll find. No, I think you'll find it's called the fancy man. Right. Let's, a first leg win, it will do us a world of good in this time. Let's go out there and grab it. The thing is, Dortmund won 12-1 in their last round on aggregate. Dortmund are unbeaten in their last 5 games. I'm convinced we can end that run. Go out there and carry straight on from where you finished the last match. I think that, can we do that assertively? Let's do that. That's motivated Tony Moreno, and that's it. All we need is a motivated Tony Moreno. He's one of our longest serving players now. Him and Garcia probably, I think, are the only two survivors from before I arrived. We've completely rebuilt this club in my own image. Sanya was here as well, actually. But it's those three. Obviously, a number of players have come through the youth system as well. Although looking at that team, I don't think any of these are our own youth products. We've mostly sold them. But yeah, Moreno and Garcia are the only two who are here as part of that Sevilla team that narrowly avoided relegation that year we arrived. So this is a massive night for them. And as I say in all these Champions League fixtures, we can't win the tie in this first leg, but we can lose it. So let's not do anything stupid. Let's not concede an away goal. If we can sneak a goal ourselves, that would be delightful. But really, let's avoid conceding an away goal. I would always prefer to be the away team in the first leg. We've not really got our way there at all, but hopefully we can avoid conceding an away goal, maybe nick a goal for ourselves. But if we go to their place with it 0-0, then we know we can just nick an away goal there. It's going to be a tight tie, hopefully, because otherwise it'll be them scoring 12 goals against us. But we do have the 4-2-3-1 in our back pocket if we need to switch to it at some point. Moreno's been booked. Imagine if... Oh, we've conceded. Oh, it's disallowed. Excellent. Imagine if Moreno gets himself sent off and the decision to play him is what cost us the Champions League this season. That is a good way to go about becoming a football manager villain. He will never play for us again if he does something stupid like that. Although Markovic in goal is living proof that you can do something horrendous in a Champions League tie, get us knocked out of the competition and still play regularly. So who knows? Oh, I thought something horrendous was going to happen again. Shall we have 10 minutes of passion? 66 minutes into the game. It feels like a good opportunity for 10 minutes of passion. Here's Garcia trying to play Gould in, who can't quite get there. But Gravosti is backing him up and putting some pressure on the Dortmund defence, which is good. It's fallen to Korkmaz. Korkmaz keeps hold of it, and it's Gould, and he's scored. It's his 10th goal of the season. It's a terrible mistake from the Dortmund goalkeeper. And Korkmaz made an absolute meal of it. I guess he's actually done quite well to keep hold of the ball. But it's the pass back here. I don't know what their keeper's thinking. Korkmaz does brilliantly there. It's a great challenge from their defender. But unluckily for him, it falls into the path of Jason Gould. And our captain, our £70 million man, was not going to let us down. And our 10 minutes of passion has worked brilliantly. We're 1-0 up against Dortmund with 20 minutes to go in the first leg of this tie. And we're now looking at making some changes. We're going to bring Abraham on. Abraham could come on in either one of these positions, and I don't know which one he'll be most effective in. We don't have another left winger or another striker to come on. So we're making one change, and I think we're going to bring Abraham on for Korkmaz. Garcia's been playing so well recently. Korkmaz has gone off the boil a little bit, as we saw there. And I'm tempted to take Moreno off because of the yellow card, but we don't really have another proper holding midfield player. This is one of the youngsters we brought in last summer. He can't really do it, no. If we were going to do that, we'd be switching system. I don't think I want to switch system. I think we're going to we'll take off O'Neill and bring Mateus on. And that will be our two changes. Because I'm Kev, I have to make two changes. Mateus on for O'Neill is definitely worsening this team. But hopefully the energy that he'll bring to that midfield is, it's all about energy. It's all Darren Ferguson, Posh's manager. It's all he ever talks about. Energy for midfield. I've learnt that energy is all you need in midfield. Right. I'm not going to make a final change. I'm going to break the habit of a lifetime. Because the only way I'd want to do that is if I was changing the system. We've got a lot of attacking options there. I don't really want to make an attacking change. Mateus to Moreno to Atz. A second goal would be a delight. And it's a delight that we get from Vitor Hugo Atz, who has been a revelation this season. Who knew playing a player in his most comfortable position could have the impact it has had? To be fair, it's not just that, it's also the fact that he is now fluent in Spanish as well. We've seen that before. First season, arrives at the club, doesn't speak the language. We're asking him to play in an unfamiliar position, in an unfamiliar system. It took him a little while to acclimatise, but this year we've got a proper world-class Brazilian midfielder there in the shape of Atz. And are we going to really complete a mugging and grab a third goal here right at the death? It's Mateus to Atz again. Atz plays Garcia in. Garcia can't quite square it, falls to Mateus. Ryback, cross comes over to Gould. It's off the line. Gould again. Their keeper is scratching around. That would have been an absolute mugging if we'd have got a third. 2-0 feels very generous, but I don't care. That was a very good performance. Don't let it go to your heads. Absolutely that. And the plan from here is I'm going to play the Villarreal game offline, obviously let you know the result, and then we'll come back and do the second leg of Dortmund later on in this episode, and hopefully book a spot in the Champions League semi-final. That would be amazing. Well, as part of a heavily rotated side, Edgar Lorenzo's making a very strong case for playing a fancy man against Dortmund in the next leg. 70 minutes in, he's got his hat-trick, and I think we're going to take him off. And in actual fact, we're just going to get back into a shape we're more familiar with. Gould can have 20 minutes. Lorenzo can come off. Well, there you go. We'll try Atz at the base of the midfield. In fact, no, we won't. We'll stick Procedo there and do that in midfield. And just see out this game. But yeah, Lorenzo scored an absolutely stunning hat-trick. Abraham's had a very good game playing on the left-hand side of midfield as well. And as you can see, the rest of the team pretty well rotated as well. We just need to make sure that there's nobody who's going to be starting against Dortmund who is struggling at all for fitness. I guess the other one who could probably come off would be Annan. And we'll bring Gravosti on for him. And hopefully see out, well, I say hopefully, we should definitely see out a comfortable victory against Villarreal, which does mean with, 9 games left? This is regular, 9 games left this season in the Liga. We're 4 points clear of Real Madrid. I'm really starting to believe, certainly in the league, or the Liga, as apparently I called it the other day, in La Liga, I am certainly starting to believe that this could be the year that we pick up our first piece of silverware. The one doubt in my mind at the moment is the fact that we do still have to play Atletico Madrid twice. We still haven't played Atletico Madrid in the league yet this season. So we have got a slightly unfair advantage in that we've had an easier run of games for the first 29 games of this season than anybody else, because the third best team in the division we haven't had to play at all yet. But unless they're going to beat us twice, I don't think that's going to be something that decides where the title trophy ends up. And would they really want to come and beat us twice and hand Real Madrid a 6th league title in a row? They're pretty much secure in 3rd place. They're going to be in the Champions League next season. And I'd like to think that they just want to hand us the title. We've got 9 games left, 2 of them against Real Madrid's biggest rivals. If they just let us beat them twice, they're still going to finish 3rd, but we'll win the league. And the stranglehold that Real Madrid have on La Liga will come to an end. So I know how I'd be trying to fix it if I was Atletico Madrid manager. But the important thing is we've picked up another win in the league. It's been a long time since we've done anything other than win in the league now. And Lorenzo was fantastic in that game. We're still probably not going to play a fancy man against Dortmund, but he certainly made a very strong argument for giving him some game time in that match. Here we go then, going into the second leg with exactly the same team that played in the first leg. All of them nicely rested. I don't know how Moreno is. I guess that's 92% match fitness because he doesn't actually play a lot of matches. There's probably an argument for him playing in the previous league game, but he didn't. But actual conditioning-wise, everybody is as fit can be. Let's go and grab a result. 2-0 up from the first leg, remember, plus no away goals from Dortmund. We are now the away team. It's not all over. Remember, Dortmund did score 12 goals in the last round, but fingers crossed we can go and secure a victory in this match. First leg means nothing. Our brand new match, we've got to make sure we win it. I like that as a team talk. They like that as a team talk too. Let's get out there and win this match and secure a spot in a Champions League semi-final. I don't know the full history of Sevilla. Has that ever been done before in the history of this club? I know when I asked about La Liga the other day, I was told they'd only won it once before in their history, and it was either in the 40s or the 60s. Either way, it was a long time ago, so it's already a potentially historic season for Sevilla. If we can do well in the Champions League as well, goodness me, this could be the finest season in the history of the world, which would be very pleasant indeed. I'd like that a lot. We've already set a record for consecutive wins certainly consecutive wins for Sevilla in La Liga. That was secured with that last match. I don't want to be 1-0 down after 3 minutes. I'm already midway through a victory speech, and Dortmund have reminded us that they are still a top team that we need to navigate our way past if we are gonna go on. And I still don't want to talk about winning this competition. It still feels too early. We've not won a single trophy in the whole series yet. But, you know, we've got as good a chance as anybody at this point. We're one of the final 6 teams in the competition because we're playing on the Wednesday. I do know there are 8 teams in a quarter-final, but Real Madrid and Monaco, I think, are the 2 teams already through to the semis. And hopefully we'll be joining them after this match. Although Dortmund are all over us. I think we need an early 10 minutes of passion. Only 17 minutes on the clock. But we do seem to be a little bit not really with it yet. Certainly chances-wise. I mean, we've had 63% of the possession. And, to be honest, more shots as well. Dortmund have just had better quality of chances and have scored a goal. But I think we just need to... They're disinterested. That seems bizarre that they're disinterested when they've started the game so well. That's the kind of thing we need to find a way to capitalise on and go and grab an away goal. What a save from Markovic. He was the villain of the Champions League run last season, ending it single-handedly, and that could mark him down as the hero of tonight, because that was an absolutely world-class save from Markovic. But Dortmund continue to be the team creating all of the highlight-worthy chances. We've had the same amount of shots as each other. You wouldn't think it just from watching the highlights, though, because every highlight is a Dortmund attack. Moreno intercepts there, and can we get a counter-attack on? It's with Garcia. We've not really seen anything of him yet today. Korkmaz plays it back into Garcia again, I think. I mean, I don't even know how Garcia ended up with the ball again after that run, but he did, and we've now got a corner, and it's Gould to take, and it doesn't really threaten, but it was our first proper attack of the game, certainly highlight-worthy attack anyway, and here we are again with the ball in the Dortmund half. Dortmund. Alvaro played it forward to Gould, it ended up with Atz. Moreno, he's in the team to win those 50-50 challenges, not fall over and let Dortmund come away with the ball, and a lot of the blame there has to go to Tony Moreno, because the one thing he's in the team to do, he completely failed at. Oh, it's 2-2 on aggregate now, and all of the momentum is with Dortmund, and we desperately need an away goal. to the point where, I mean, Moreno's nervous, and he should be, because I'm looking at Lorenzo thinking it would be a ballsy move, but I'm very tempted to go to the 4-2-3-1, but Korkmaz is offside. That came off a Dortmund player, didn't it? I thought it was sort of bobbled free from a Dortmund head, but apparently not. And this has been a really, really poor first half for us, and we need to put a rocket up some backsides at half-time. And I am really tempted to bring Lorenzo on for Moreno, because we know the kind of form Lorenzo's in. Right, we're going to get aggressive. I'm not happy. They're fired up. I'm going to give them 15 minutes, and then we're going to bring Lorenzo on, because as much as it seems sensible in the Champions League to try and keep things tight, they're already not tight. We're 2-0 down in this game, and we do have our one advantage left is the whole away goal situation. So we need to score a goal, arguably more than we need to avoid conceding one, because if we both score one more goal each, maths, Kev, if we score one more goal each, we're still ahead in the game. So actually, it makes sense for us to attack based on that scenario. Atz has hit the post. 5 minutes and we're going to make the change unless we score. Korkmaz with the corner. Falls to Moreno. He's the man who needs to watch himself because he's coming off. Korkmaz can't get the crossover. It comes back to Korkmaz again though. So Gould now with the chance to cross. Can't get the cross in. It feels like we need a creative player in there. Moreno back to Gravosti. And I am about to roll the dice in the Champions League, and it feels like such a bad idea, but I feel like I've got solid logic for doing it. So Moreno is going to come off, Lorenzo's going to come on. That's the only change we're making for now. And we're just going to see if offering something a little bit different, a different shape, bring on a wonder kid and see if he's got some magic in his boots to just fire us into the next round. I mean, Dortmund are playing 4-2-4. They're going for it just as well as we are, and Lorenzo's going to get sent off, isn't he? We talked about possibly Moreno getting sent off because he was the big call in the first leg. Imagine if Lorenzo is the big call in this match. He's the man who gets sent off and becomes the villain of the entire cup run. Right, well, Garcia hasn't turned up at all in either of these matches. I think Abraham on for Garcia is the next obvious change. Garcia, having played so well in the last couple of episodes, just seems to have forgotten how good he was being. It's not as if there's been 10 matches that I've played offline between the two. These are literally consecutive matches, and Garcia's just gone missing all of a sudden after playing so very well. Abraham and Lorenzo are the two who played so very well in the rotated team in the league just now. They forced their way into this tie. Look at how well Dortmund are playing. This is the team we expected in this tie. The team that scored 12 goals in the last round. And we are absolutely under the cosh here. We are struggling hugely. And I don't really know what to do. Oh, this is horrible. Right, we just need a goal. We've got to find a goal from somewhere. But I don't know where it comes from. Oh! I'm trying to rip the back of my head off to let more ideas in, and I don't think it works like that. Right, what can I say? Demand more. We're 3-0 down. If ever there was a time to demand more, I think this is it. We've got Amador on the bench. He's the only attacking player we've got, but who on earth do we bring him on for? Gould, maybe? Korkmaz, maybe? Amador can play on the left-hand side. So if we bring him on for Korkmaz, stick Abraham up front and Amador coming in from the left-hand side. And we've got to go attacking now because we absolutely have to get a goal at this point. And if they score a fourth, that's going to be devastating. The one silver lining that's going through my head at the moment is this does allow us to focus on the league. And plus, extends the season by another year. If we don't win the Champions League this season, we've got at least one more year. But I feel like we had this one won. And we've just... I don't know why we haven't turned up in the second leg. We played so well. Although, to be fair, we didn't really. I said myself how it felt like we were mugging Dortmund. And they're just getting their own back now. Lorenzo. Oh, he scored a free kick just like that in the last game. I've asked us to get creative in the last few minutes. Very attacking now. Come on, we've got minutes left. If we score a goal here... we will be ahead on away goals. I don't know if that counts after full time or after extra time, but we've got 2 minutes left to potentially score a winner. 30 seconds left to grab a winning goal from somewhere. Somebody do something, please. And it's going to be them. Oh, it's hit the inside of the post. Gravasti, we've still got 20 seconds left. Jason Gould, show me why you're worth 70 million quid. Send that man off and ban him from European football for life. That was awful. That was so cynical, bringing Gould down there. Now we've got Mr. rolling around, clutching his knee on the edge of the penalty area, just playing for time. The absolute scumbags. The tie is over. We've been awful. And it's, I mean, look at the clear-cut chances. Look at all the stats. 3-0 flatters us. Dortmund are a very, very good side. And we try again next year, I guess. Unless we can grab a very unlikely goal here. Amador trying to do it all himself. And I think that was the last attack of the game now. He probably needed to release one of the players ahead of him. He didn't. And surely now the referee blows. We've had 2.5 extra minutes on top of the 4 minutes we were supposed to get. And the Champions League dream is over for another year. Oh, wasn't good enough. Just wasn't to be, was it? Well, now we pick ourselves up, we dust ourselves off, and we go and try and win La Liga. We're in a very strong position to do that. I just hope our heads haven't dropped. Because that's the first time we've been comprehensively beaten and outplayed in a game we were trying to win since Real Madrid in the league back in October. That was the last time we were properly outplayed by anybody. I hope it doesn't affect us adversely. I'm thinking we probably just go through to the end of the season. I feel like I should probably show one of the Atletico Madrid games, but we've shown so many games recently that part of me thinks let's just do the last 2 games of the season. Unless it looks like we're going to bottle the league, I think we're in quite a strong position. If we go, I mean, we're only a one point clear now with a game in hand again. If we go into the second Atletico game and we're not comfortable, we'll perhaps come back a little sooner. Otherwise, assume the next episode will be Las Palmas and Valencia to end the season, and then try again with the Champions League next year. So disappointing. So disappointing. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.